On this very story, I'm joined by a Kenyan, a former journalist and a media consultant, Tim Njiru, my friend. Thank you so much for joining us all the way from Nairobi. Tim, are you there? Tim, you can hear me?
Yes, I can. Good evening, Muraho.
Muraho Neza, how are you doing, man?
Very well. Good to see you one more time. You look very healthy.
Thank you so much. So tell us very fast, this story of Cabinet Secretary Rotich being arrested. It is making rounds in the international media.
Right.
Why do you think it is? This story has gone viral in the first place?
Did you say that again?
Why do you think this story has gone viral in the first place?
Well, the connection seems to be quite. There's poor connection, but I'm doing my best to just speak it from this end. You're asking something in regards to CS Rotich, right?
That's true.
Right. So, I mean, he has been around for quite some time, and he has been making major decisions in as far as Kenya's financial matters are concerned. I mean, the same gentleman delivered an elaborate budget just a month ago, and then today he is the guest of the state, as from that report which we've just heard from this end. Now, at the end of the day, corruption is what seems to be Uhuru Kenyatta's biggest agenda, and he has to work this out. And this is as a result of what he promised Kenyans. He promised Kenyans to fight corruption based on the fact that we've been having this quite some time, and he's been working with the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga. So the signatures, the endorsements, the deals that were made under the table is what is now coming out in the light. Everything that was done in darkness is now coming out in the light, and we are yet to see what else is going to happen after this. Obviously, the Director of Public Prosecutions, Nurdin Haji, is very, very keen in seeing that this particular issue comes to an end.
Could this be the beginning of a new era in terms of fighting corruption in Kenya?
Well, there's been a lot. I mean, that's a very good question. And when you look at the citizens of Kenya, look, if you steal a chicken, you will be prosecuted and you'll be taken to jail. Obviously, you'll come out with a cash bail or something of the sort. I'm looking at minor offenses. Petty offenders happen to be arrested for, I mean, those are some of the biggest cases that are in courts right now. But a lot has been said about the big fish. Now, today's case is just it's just the beginning of where the Director of Public Prosecution is going with in as far as the big fish is concerned. We are now seeing that the big fish are now getting arrested. And corruption, we know, let's look at fish, because fish is what we like to consume. And I know you love eating fish. Fish starts rotting from the head.
That's true.
And
yes.
If you fight corruption from the head, you will be able to enjoy your fish towards the end. So I think it's a very good move that the Director of Public Prosecution has done today. We hope as a republic, and it's also giving hope to most Kenyans, that this will be the trend. And if it becomes the trend, then Mr. Uhuru Kenyatta, the president of this republic, is definitely going to gain a lot of support from his critics and his supporters alike.
Of course, this corruption thing has been said over and over in Kenya. There's this thing that is common, shaking hands and all that. How rooted is corruption over there, and how can it be overcome?
Well, let me take you back to the inaugural speech of Kenya's third president, Honorable President Mwai Kibaki, Kenya's third president. I mean, the first president was Uhuru Kenyatta's dad, that was Jomo Kenyatta, and then President Moi. And then the third president was Mwai Kibaki. In his inaugural speech of President Mwai Kibaki then, he said that corruption is a lifestyle. And in his tenure, he said that corruption will no longer become a lifestyle for Kenyans. Now, that was so many years ago. This is back in 2003. We are now in the year 2019, and we're still talking about corruption. It's still deep rooted in the society. We're not saying that we're badly off. I mean, there has been a lot that has been done. We are now aware, and you see, self-awareness is what makes a whole difference. The moment we are aware of what's going on, then we will be able to face, tackle, and adjust to the next step, which is advancing as a country which is corruption free.
So tell us the mood after the arrest of Cabinet Secretary Rotich. What has been the mood in Nairobi? Of course, media houses here running here and there to get the best of the story. But what has been the mood? What is being whispered on the streets?
It's all positive. The word on the street is, okay, well, everyone's waiting with a bated breath just to see what's going to happen after this. But we want to get to the bottom of this situation. We want to bring this matter to bed completely. And it's a good move. The streets, obviously, there are mixed reactions here and there. Obviously, there are those who are not very, very keen in seeing this matter coming to an end. Others are criticizing and saying it's just a public show. Yes. It's a PR show.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw a senator saying that it is public relations. It's a stunt.
It could be a public relations stunt, but then the director of public prosecutions, Nuruddin Haji, is back in the news. He has been on a hiatus for quite some time. He's not been in the news. He's not been saying anything, and it kept everyone asking, where has he been? So now he has just come back. He's shot the gun in the air, and look, there's reaction all over. It's just a couple of hours, which is tomorrow. I mean, right now it's 11:30 here in Nairobi. And tomorrow morning, the papers will have all sorts of headlines talking about this matter that is corruption. The mood obviously is mixed, but I can tell you a majority of Kenyans are pleased with the news of his arrest and also the arrest of the principal secretary, Mr. Thuge.
Tim Njiru, thank you so much for joining us, man. I know it's late. You need to go to bed in Nairobi. It should be
not late. We'll be following Rwanda TV, Burakoze.
Thank you so much, man. Have a good one.
You too. Good night.
Thank you for joining us. Tim Njiru, all the way from Nairobi, joining us here on Rwanda Television to speak about the developing story over there in Kenya, about the arrest of the finance minister, call him the cabinet secretary, Rotich Henry.